Let's get people caught up and then also go to get things done. Karen, Joe, thanks for jumping in. Good morning, Joe and Addie and Tanya. Cancel this show.com. Happy Monday it is. Tanya says, I'll be listening. Very long weekend here in all of Missouri. Yeah, a lot of the weather, of course. We broadcast out of the St. Louis, Missouri area. But we had, there's people who dealt with storms all over the Midwest, specifically in Missouri as well. Tornadoes, power outages. Injuries, few fatalities. Insane. Yeah, my friends in Wildwood just got their power back this morning, less than an hour ago. So we're glad you're with us. Like, subscribe, share the show as always. All kinds of things going on. Good morning, Jeannie. Happy St. Patrick's Day. March 17th, 2025. We're ready to get rocking and rolling here in just a bit. Welcome into the show before the show. Hope everybody had a good morning so far. We're here to help you try to do that as well. Egg prices, third straight week dropped. Can't complain about that anymore. Good morning, Paul and Greg. Good morning, everybody. Let's see here. It's Monday, March 17th. Are we ready to get things going here today? Get this here. Hey guys, thanks for letting people know what we got going on. Please share with others. We'll get started in about 4 minutes or so, something like that. That's interesting. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us. Eggs went from $10 to $6.50. Let's hope it keeps going. It is 3 straight weeks, price drops. Thank you. Yes, my weekend was just fine. Thank you so much. Just trying to get everything done. Joe's not in studio. It's a lot more difficult for me to get the things done when Joe's at home and I'm trying to load videos. So it'll be slower because it's impossible to try to tweet, host, produce, anchor, and load videos all at the same time. Seriously, it's the most difficult thing I've ever done. Good morning, Ben. Happy Monday. Thanks, guys. Welcome into the show, guys. We'll go ahead and get the show started right now then. Joe, if you're still with us, go ahead and start it. If not, I'll go ahead and start the show. Hey guys, welcome into the show. It's cancelthisshow.com. Happy St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Glad you are all with us. And of course, jumping in to cancel this, jumping in our People's Podcast platform. You know, you can watch us live on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, and of course, Rumble as well. We are there for you. And of course, you can catch us later in the day as well. Politics, what's happening in this country in 2025. Donald Trump continuing to shake things up, not going status quo. The liberal left and their Democratic Party in shambles. They've got people leaving left and right. You've got Hakeem Jeffries yelling at Chuck Schumer, Schumer yelling at Hakeem Jeffries. Just, we're glad that Donald Trump is president, and we're glad that we're rocking and rolling moving forward. We're here till about 10 o'clock as always. So much happening over the weekend. We're jumping all into it, as I said. I'm doing my best to pop these videos up as well, so you'll have to be patient with me when we do that. Okay. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know a lot of people were dealing, at least in the Midwest, with storms, specifically St. Louis, where we broadcast live out of. Lots of tornadoes. I'd never seen anything like that when it came to predictions being made from forecasters to tornadoes coming in to about every person I know sitting in a basement or a safe spot, safe place, so to speak. And then, of course, having to deal with all the weather that came through. That's what happens. Mother Nature can do that. Conditions were perfect for it. Unfortunately, there were fatalities across the state of Missouri. And of course, we pray for all those who have lost anything when it came to possessions and, of course, power being out. Heck, a friend of mine just got his power back in Wildwood this morning, less than an hour ago. So that's what it did. It was there. Okay. Jump in if you have anything to talk about. You can jump in on the People's Podcast platform. And then, of course, also what we can do is Take your questions, give us your opinions as we always do. You know how we do that. In the meantime, Donald Trump just continues to get things done day after day, week after week. We're not sitting back. And the sad thing is that you see people who are going to continue to try on the left to destroy him, but things can't be at a better situation. Think in mind of where this guy has come from. Now his approval ratings and the job that he's doing, and for immigration at all-time highs for him. The liberal left, the evil liberal left, will try to say, oh, well, he's still at the bottom of the popularity vote when it comes to all the presidents we've had. Yeah, he's actually the guy that's out doing something, shaking things up, making sure that we're doing things that isn't status quo. Things couldn't be going any better for the Republicans. They couldn't be going any better for this conservative party. And of course, us as Americans. The thing that I love about it too is the fact that over the weekend, Trump just continues to laugh in the face of these liberal judges, these people who are trying to stop any and all progress that he has, because everything that we're starting to see is going by the main side. It's going away. Greg says Midwesterners don't go to the basement. They're on their porch watching. Well, some do, and some go to their basements. I'll never forget, as I talked about this before, being in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tornado Alley, where I worked for 3 years, thinking it was so cool watching a tornado come down the street, like it was a long street, until it got closer and closer. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Of course, then I ran in my house and got in a closet with my wife and dog, because that's the only place you could go in Tulsa, in the middle of Tornado Alley. Not so cool. Yeah, you can think it's cool to be up close and until something bad happens. Yeah. Trump checking boxes while the market is slowly moving back up like he predicted. Patience is the key with the market, and it will turn around. Everything he touches turns to gold because he has already been down this road once. Love it. And of course, he is a very tempered man, very calm, very deliberate, and he has a plan in place that is moving all around. So I was talking about his ratings over the weekend going up. Love the freak, love all of that stuff. Also his immigration, where people feel more positive than negatives, at 53%. And that's according to the liberal polling. Over 53%. Who would have ever thought that would have been even possible 6 years ago? Love it. Jeannie says, I'm a certified weather spotter. I was in my basement. It's probably where you should have been, especially with what was happening for all of those things. Trish says Biden's pardons null and void. Yeah, because we're going to get into that too, and we'll jump in. There's so much to get to. Null and void because of that auto pin is what Donald Trump says. As a matter of fact, here's Donald Trump talking about that. Let me see if I can find the video. Donald Trump talking about what's happening being null and void when it comes to Biden. We talked about the use of these auto pins last week and what was happening. Is it real? Would he really have been doing that? Yeah, he was doing that. And the sad thing is that now we can show you. And here's Donald Trump talking about what he.
This is one example, but the J6
with the
those executive orders, those pardons
given by Joe Biden.
Those executive orders, those pardons from the former president, now null and void. Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an auto pen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave pardons with an auto pen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. Are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president, now null and void? Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an auto pen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave pardons with an auto pen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year.
Wow. there you go. Is it really gonna happen that way? Is Donald Trump really going to be able to stop this? He says a court's going to decide, and we've already seen all it depends is, and this is the thing, right and wrong depends on if you're in a blue state or a red state. I mean, it's so stupid and silly. We had a judge that we'll get into, very evil liberal, trying to rule from the bench. This Borsberg, this guy's as evil as it gets. This guy should have people outside his front door day in, day out, reminding him of the evil POS he is. We'll get into that. But we see these judges. It's not about the American people. It's about themselves, their committee, and where they've taken their money from. But this is huge to see. Number one, the auto pens that were being used and who was using them. And two, now we see what's happened as Donald Trump just brought this forward. I have a feeling we all know that Biden had no idea what was going on anyway, but Biden didn't do that. He did not give the J6 committee members pardons. Somebody else did. They used that stamp, the auto pen, and there you go. Donald Trump says, yeah, we'll see. We're not going to abide by him. And this is one of the greatest things that we could have, because one thing's for sure, we can't ever let happen. Just like Dan Bongino says, oh, we're not forgetting about the Russia hoax. We're going right after Schiff because we got to make sure that no Republican, Democrat, or independent ever deals with what Donald Trump had to deal with before. So we're going to make sure that this evilness, that our family members and friends who are on the evil liberal side of the left, who don't want unity, all they want is division. By the way, polling now shows Democrats don't even care what the issue is. They just say they want to see Democrats fight against Trump. They don't even know. When asked specifically about policy, doesn't matter. We just want to see the Democrats fight against him. Whatever he wants, we don't. Well, ma'am, what if they want to give you, a $50,000? We don't care. We hate him. He's mean. Man. And we've seen, and most of the Democrats that we know, they're like this in their minds. Their minds are fried. And there's no coming back. There's no turning back. And that's fine. We just have to deal with them. Some of these people are my friends, but behind my back, I can only imagine what they're saying about me because they've lost their mind. They're not even right. I mean, people who I know, this is what they're trying to do. But Donald Trump, of course, we're on the side of right. We're on the side of sanity. And so we're going to get to the bottom of it from the chat line. This is why we see him sign everything. Oh, very good point about President Trump. A crappy judge will probably get it. Yeah, we'll see. Biden wasn't even in the office when some of those pardons happened. That's the reporting that's going down right now. Let's ask him exactly who he pardoned. This, of course, asking Joe Biden, because he has no idea who he pardoned. Greg jumping into the chat line right now saying, mentioning Bongino, isn't his first day today? Yes, he signed off on Friday, a very tearful thing for him. But yeah, better watch out because Dan Bongino's on the job right now. Brenda says, my husband is like that. That's so sad because Brenda's talking about her liberal husband. They don't even care. They just say, fight, 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 go against him. I don't care. I don't know how you guys can even live together, much less love each other, but more power to you. Because in this day and age, it's impossible to much less live with a liberal than it is to even love a liberal, to even hang out with one, because their mind is so gone to even think how they process things. I mean, it's really sad just how bad it is, because most every liberal I know, they can't even process A to B, B to C, and C to D. They've literally lost their effing minds. They would rather a plane full of violent, thuggery, rapists, murderers, thieves stay in America than be sent out of this, illegals, be sent out of this country where they belong just because it's Trump. And that's actually happening right now. Does Trump want it? We got to go against him. Brenda says it's hard. We can't even talk politics. I don't even know how a couple can be married and not talk politics, because it affects everyday life. It affects how you live, your money, your faith in many cases. I pray for you. I just don't know how. Democrats' heads are spinning. They don't know where to turn next. Yeah, they don't, because Donald Trump also got his spending plan passed. And guess who did it? Little Chucky Schumer was the little lapdog that he is, because Trump's his daddy. And I'm sorry, but Democrats, us Republicans, we're your daddy. We're your daddy right now. And it's part of it. You sit on our laps and we pet you, and you go fetch when we say go fetch. And I'm sorry, but truth hurts. And the Republicans were on that side as well for a while. Right now, the Republican Party owns you. We gave a mandate because we have the majority in this country, and you have to deal with it. I'm sorry. You have to deal with it. Now, you can deal with it in a normal, positive, mature way and wait for your next opportunity, or you can act like freaking lunatics like most of you are. And it's sad because I see these people and they're so lost. They're just lost. Well, yeah. The only conversation my wife and I avoid is the contrails, the chemtrails discussion. He rolls his eyes when I'm listening to you. Well, here's the thing. Your poor husband, and I don't know anything about his education. I don't know anything about his upbringing. I don't know anything about his life experiences. But the one thing I do know is that when we invite liberals onto the show, most tear they tear into it like, no, and they run away because we're the holy water, and it's like they're the demon and they don't want anything to do with it. We're the cross and they're the demon. They don't want anything to do with it. He and any liberal is welcome on the show all the time to talk facts, not feelings. Talk about facts first, and then fiction is their side. Donna says, I wonder how many millions or billions of dollars Trump has saved us now by cutting those nonsense programs. And they continue to come. And the Democrats and liberals don't want to talk about that either. But we have all kinds of success that continues to happen in this country. So we should feel very confident and very good about what we have going on right now. So Donald Trump, approval ratings sky high, highest they've ever been. But he's such a bad guy. He's such a bad president. Then he says these auto pin signatures, they don't count. He says the court's ultimately going to decide, but he's like, we've looked at it. I wouldn't be talking as you just heard him talk about. So Jeannie brings up a good point. Who the hell do these lower court judges think they are? Seriously, they think they're above the law. They know the difference. They're only doing this for media headlines and to try to make the narrative negative against Trump. And this is unfortunately what the Democratic Party's become. When you don't have policy and truth and facts to rely on, you have to make up crap. You have to literally make up stuff. It's like, oh, let's let this lower judge say something just to throw something out in the atmosphere. No, they can't. They can't do anything about it. Patty says it's not just politics, but our core values are totally opposite. We are. That's how I don't know somebody from the right and somebody from the left who could ever seriously have a great relationship as a husband and wife anymore. Things have changed. Maybe it's one of those things where you were already together. So you're together, but there's no way in hell in this day and age where two people who are opposed politically would ever be able to get along. No way. No way. It would be a relationship. It'd be fake. It would be totally, totally fake. And I'm just grateful that we have Donald Trump, who is here now, making sure that things are being done the way that they should. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and share this from Donald Trump, because I'm just grateful that, like I said, we have Mr. Donald on our side, making sure that we are good. Let me pull this up here in just a second. Let me see. This is about Donald Trump talking about what's happening. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and share this. Let me read you what Trump has to say about the pardons. You heard him talking on the plane. He also put this out on True Social. Quote, the pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by autopin. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them, exclamation point. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Donald Trump. And now we're getting serious about the things that are happening in this country. And we got a man who's not going to put up with the BS anymore. And now we look back and we're like, all those things that happened, was there any way to stop it? Any way at all? And yeah, there was a way, and it's called Donald Trump. Anyone reasonable would agree, coming from the chat line, yes, these lower level lawyers in robes are clearly on the take. Look at the Mershon and the millions his daughter received via an anti-Trump fundraiser, wink, wink. Yeah, but Kash Patel, as we showed you last week, is now investigating Judge Mershon and his daughter for the money that she was making because of her father going after Donald Trump. There will be a day of reckoning. Greg takes us a little bit off track. Food for thought in Canada. If it was the 51st state, you would be able to see a doctor the same day versus 6 weeks, and your leg has gangrene. Okay. I got it. Also, Donald Trump stopping this, and we're going to continue to follow that whole story because every day, there's like 10, 11 different things that are going on. But Trump is also taking care of the situation when it comes to these lower judges. You guys are talking about the judges. The judges that we're starting to see right now, you had one over the weekend. So the story is you had Donald Trump deporting rapists, murderers, all illegal aliens. They're not undocumented migrants, illegals. They're illegals. Let's just be honest. Rapists, murderers, thieves, criminals of all kinds, taking them out of this country because we're rounding them up. Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he would do. We're rounding up these bad people and sending them away. Trump recently invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which allows him and our government to deport natives and citizens of an enemy nation without a hearing. So Donald Trump was sending over 230 of these evil people away. He sent them to El Salvador. He said, quote, "Thank you to El Salvador in particular, President Bukele, for your understanding of this horrible situation, which was allowed to happen to the United States because of incompetent," let me repeat that again, incompetent Democrat leadership. We will not forget. I said this in the beginning. El Salvador is going to get paid a whole lot of money. Some sort of deal was worked so that we could actually send these people there. We're talking about 261 illegal aliens deported to El Salvador on Sunday. You've also got a situation, you have a sexual abuse of a child, rape, kidnapping, aggravated assault, prostitution, robbery, aggravated assault of a police officer, but you have liberals and Democrats trying to say, oh, these are good people. Yeah, they just need to be acclimated to our environment. This is how you know who these people are when they say things like that. They're on the take, or they just have the Trump derangement syndrome so bad that they can't even process anything anymore. They don't understand policy. Then, I mean, these are just, the pictures are wonderful to see of this country becoming the kind of country that we need to become again. One that doesn't have to just sit back and be getting whipped by other countries, because that's not us. That's not who we were ever going to be. And we didn't want to be that. And we shouldn't be that. So when I look at what's happening in the video, this gets me excited. And it should get you excited because here you go. We literally have our country, our leadership, putting forward our military men and women and our police officers and Homeland Security, there they go. These are not good people. These are terrible individuals, and they do not want the best for you or your family. This is them being deported. Donald Trump taking care of business. Like he said, America first. This is not about the illegal first anymore. It's about America. These are their gang tattoos. This is who the Democrats support. You literally have Democrats like this lower judge wanting these people to stay in America who have committed horrible crimes and more to come if they're allowed to stay. These are the faces that the Democrats love. This is what the Democrats support. This is what they're going after Trump for. Just remember, and we show you this so that you never, ever forget who the Democrats side with and who Donald Trump sides with. This is something that should never, ever be forgotten, ever, because our country needs to be safe. We need to feel safety. This guy is a U.S. District Judge, James Boasberg, B-O-A-S, Berg. He literally ordered an immediate stop to the efforts to deport these gang members so that he could have more time to consider if Trump's use of the Enemies Act was illegal. The good thing is he came right back, and so did Caroline Levin, said we did not defy a court order. The order came too late, and illegals were already in international airspace. See you later. Pound sand. We're done with you. Quote, the written order and the administration's actions do not conflict. That according to Caroline Levitt. She says a single judge in a single city cannot direct the movements of an aircraft carrier full of foreign alien terrorists who were physically expelled from U.S. soil. God, are the Democrats really that dumb? Or do they know what's happening? They just don't want to admit it. So they're just saying anything and everything they can. This is the video we've been waiting for years. These illegals being treated the way that they should be, because they shouldn't even have set foot in this country in the first place. You want to do something kind, nice, sweet, do it the legal way and come in like so many before you have, the legal way, paying the price, learning, doing everything that you should. We ain't playing according to Jeannie. Nope, we're not. And don't forget that judge's name, Boasberg. They're all on the take. They're getting paid, and they don't care whether you know or not. Donna says he's knucking futs. Doesn't the commander-in-chief have more authority? Once again, this is just what they're trying to do. Whatever we can do to stop Donald Trump is where we're going to go. That's our mission. We'll do and stop whatever we need to stop or try to, because they're panicking. Yep, Trish said it. Democrats are panicking. So they're doing everything they can. Hakeem Jeffries is now yelling at Chuck Schumer. Joyless Reed, remember she just got fired from MSNBC because nobody wanted to watch her. She said she's leaving the Democrat Party. Go, where are you going? You hate Republicans. You're leaving the Democrat Party because the spending bill passed. More Trump success. Because here's the thing. You'll always be allowed on the Republican side because many of the Republicans who were leading the party were once Democrats and realized that the Democrats left them a long time ago, and that the Democrats, there's no path for return right now. There's no policy that you have. There's not one policy Democrats have. And for the Democrat husband of our listener, I feel bad for him, but I don't, because he's choosing to be the guy that he is. He's like so many other Democrats. Instead of being happy for where this country is going, and the evidence shows we're headed in the right direction, let's just be mean and nasty. Why isn't it understood about legal? Yeah, well, it is. Donna says, what a loser, Joy. Yeah, she is. She's leaving the Democrat Party because she didn't get her way. But that's kind of been the Democratic way. We're taking our ball and going home if we don't get what we want. And if you don't agree with what we do, then you're mean and you're hateful. Yeah, those days are done. They're gone. And they don't know what to do. They're just like that 13-year-old little punk kid that gets everything that he wants. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he goes and throws a fit, and he's going to make a big old scene until he gets what he wants. Then when he realizes that he doesn't, he just goes away. Jay says, wasn't that long ago the hypocritical Democrats were crying about how bad a shutdown would be when the Republicans were threatening the same thing? Yeah, we showed you that video on Thursday. Jeannie says, I'm worried since the Democrats don't have a party that they're going to be infiltrating the Republican Party. I feel like there's a plan there. Maybe. It's already happened over the last 40 years. So that's why people need to do their research on who these people are and go through. Donna says a rumor going around that Donald Trump will put $1,000 on EBT snap cards. I don't know. I hadn't heard that one. The only rumor I heard about them giving money back was from Doge. And that could have been as much as 5,000, but I haven't seen anything more. And that would have been for every legal American citizen. And then I've heard conservatives say, well, if that happened, that would be a terrible thing. We don't need to give money back to people. So I don't know. You guys will have, I'll do some more research on that today, but I just haven't seen anything like that happen or that they're going to be giving money back. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just glad that right now we do have Trump taking care of business, doing what he has to do, making sure that people understand what's happening. I just love this this quote, because you see where things are happening now. You see that we are on the side of right. The Democrats are on the side of wrong. Caroline Lovett literally put this out, and I share the screen for you. Just know that you're in the majority. Continue to remember you're in the majority. Caroline Lovett talking about this judge and Democrats literally trying to fight to keep rapists, murderers, sexual assaulters of kids, thieves in America. They're fighting to keep them here. That's how lost the Democratic Party is, and that's why you're in the right. Just continue to do the right thing. Continue to keep a good heart. Don't be a bully. These Democrats are bullies. They'll yell at you. They'll scream at you. They'll call you names. They'll get on Facebook and say things, and they'll have like 10 likes. She says, if the Democrats want to argue in favor of turning a plane full of rapists, murderers, and gangsters back to the United States, that's a fight we are more than happy to take. They're so lost right now. They're arguing for the craziest of crazy things. Welfare fraud needs to be investigated. Yeah, I get it. Jay says, I'll take my tax dollars back, but would rather see it go to a national fund. Yeah, is this real, Glenn? Mitch says, Arkansas governor is going down. Katie Hobbs. Glenn says, breaking news. Dem federal judge declares himself president. Yeah, that's a joke, tongue in cheek. Hey, maybe the next thing that's happening. Would not be surprised about that. Also from the chat line. What? Are we going with a balanced budget? No federal deficit? Lower taxes? What are we going to do? Oh my God. And that's the problem right now. You literally, we're in the majority. The majority of people know that we're doing things the right way now. We're doing things the right way. You're on the side of right. You're on the side of correctness. You're on the side of God. This is all a good thing that we've got going on right now. I think they hate us not retaliating. They do, because they want to fight. Bad subjects, bad actors want to fight. They want an audience. But Donald Trump continues to protect us, and he continues winning. Winning. We're just winning. We're doing a whole lot of winning. And they're going to continue to do anything and everything they can to come after us. I know Donald Trump, and if anybody ever wants to talk about Donald Trump not being just a gentleman and a change man from the 80s, 90s, even his last term, you're a liar. I love this. You saw that it happened. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Where do we have here? Hold on a second. Okay, let me find this for you. Okay, I got it now. Okay, over the weekend, we'll continue to show this video. If you haven't seen it yet, I think it happened on Friday afternoon. Donald Trump gets smacked in the face with a boom mic. Laura Loomer uncovered who the reporter was yesterday. The reporter, a female, is from, look at that. How many times have you ever seen a president of the United States get smacked in the face with anything? Never. Not once. And this woman, upon having her name put out in public, scrubbed all of her X account, all of her quotes. And you know why? Guess who she works for? The most liberal publication in America, NPR. So, do you think that was on purpose or not? In my humble opinion, it was 100%. She smacked him in the face on purpose. She went and hid all of her tweets. She went and hid all of her posts to make sure that people knew that it wasn't, that they couldn't see what she has said in the past. But this is a president. I have held that boom mic a million times. It is impossible to accidentally do that when a man has already stood straight. It's attached to her. She's standing back from a distance. It's impossible. And there wasn't any sorry or anything from that standpoint. And for one time now, I hope Donald Trump stops being the wonderful, considerate, personable man that he is. And I hope he sends somebody to deal with her somehow, some way, because that was on purpose. It was horribly disrespectful, and no apology sent either. No apologies. It does not happen by chance. Jeannie says DEI. Maybe. No, this is a white woman. I don't know what you meant by DEI. But it pisses me off when I see that happen, because she's disrespecting our president, somebody who's given up his entire life, literally put his life on the line several times. So yeah, that pisses me off when I see that. She should have apologized immediately, because if you F up, then you apologize. No doubt in my mind she did that on purpose. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm glad that Laura Loomer, who does an amazing job, found out her name and told us that she works for NPR. So we should not be surprised that her name is Danielle Kurtzleben. It's Kurtz, Kurtz, Leben. Danielle Kurtzleben. And she is the newly appointed White House reporter for NPR and a massive Trump hater. She's an LGBTQ advocate who once suggested during the 2024 campaign that Trump only spoke in Howell, Michigan, because it had ties to the KKK. And she just happens to smack our president in the face with a boom mic. Yeah, I'm talking about receipts. And I do think that she did this on purpose. I don't know. I had somebody tell me that this woman, that's her, that she looks like what her bio says she is. Anyway, Danielle Kurtzleben. Thank you, Laura Loomer, for telling us that. It just pisses me off when I see the disrespect, because the Democrats don't have policy. They don't have success. They don't have a leadership. They really don't have a team anymore. They've got so much infighting back and forth. And then you have somebody who does this. Jeannie says, well, I guess she FA, now she'll FO. Maybe. We'll see. Donald Trump hasn't called her out yet on this. But I love how he handled it. He's got so much class and integrity and character, unlike most everybody in the Democratic Party these days. Donald Trump, thank you. Bye-bye, press pass. Well, they won't pull her press pass yet because you can't prove it. And that's what sucks. You look at her background, you look at the mean things she said about him, then she gets put on the presidential team, then smacks the president in the face with a boom mic. You don't have hardcore evidence, but come on. You know she did it on purpose. You know she did it on purpose. I've just never seen anything like that happen. I saw some athletes when I was in the big huddles putting mics in, maybe get a little, somebody may like get it near their face. Never once in 25 years of those huddles did I ever see anything like that. There was only a couple people around, and they keep their distance from the president too, by the way, where shit smashes in. She knew exactly what she was doing. Shame on you, Danielle. Shame on you. And I hope somehow, some way, there's an apology that they give. Glenn says defund NPR. Yeah, NPR should be defunded, not just because of that, because they didn't have one conservative working in their damn facility. That's why they should be taken out. Just glad that we're on the side of Donald Trump. I'm glad that we have conservatives in office doing their job. Dan Bongino's first day on the job. Schiff shit in his pants, and he should be. So many good things happening right now, and this country's headed in the right direction. And I'm just like, thank you, sweet baby Jesus, that these things are going on. I just am very upset about the craziness that's going on in this country. And if you don't think that, I mean, we all deal with things, but the left is really becoming unhinged in a lot of areas. We're going to have a story on that is about this, a local in the St. Louis area. But this guy posted, my wife's Cybertruck was keyed in Kirkwood, Missouri this morning. Quick thinking by her and rapid response by the Kirkwood Police Department. They apprehended the perpetrator. Of course, it's a man bun. We all know that liberal men wear man buns. They should be outlawed. Here he is, Mark Munsert. Hope it was worth it, buddy. Mark Munsert, a liberal man, keyed somebody's Cybertruck to get at Elon. Mark Munsert. And B. Jones posted this, and I'm glad you put it here. I had somebody else contact me last week and say that not only her, but her son, who has a Tesla, was almost run off the road not once but twice. She was driving his car as a test to see what was going on. Same thing. She witnessed the same things. This is how unhinged these people are. They're in the minority, but they're still unhinged. This is insane. She waited till he looked the other direction. Yeah, you're right. She did. You were talking about the microphone situation there. Jeannie says that's going to cost him. So it was so ironic that this woman tells me last week, hey, I think this would be great for your show, Vic. Domestic terrorism is alive and well. If the liberals or Democrats want to talk about domestic terrorism, let's talk about them going after people who just have Teslas. Yep, this happened to Kirkwood. It's such juvenile behavior. It really is. But they don't know the difference right now. And it's really sad when those things happen. I'm just grateful that we're in a better stage of life right now. We're moving forward. So all this coming out of Pelosi's right-hand man, Aaron Minter, to plan the J6 disruption, and many more should be arrested for domestic terrorism. We may get it. Donald Trump has put together an amazing team, so we may get it. It just takes a little bit of time. And we are going to have that mom and her son come on, excuse me, and talk about how they're being treated on the roads just because they drive a Tesla. Just because they drive a Tesla. Just be grateful that we are and we do have people that support us, and we're in the bigger group. So we should not think that, oh yeah, we're in the party of the small. No, we're not. Trump's doing everything right. He really is. And you really can see some of these things. It was from Bill Maher's show the other night. She is hardcore liberal, hardcore Democrat. Batya Ungar Sargon, that's Batya, Batya, Ungar Sargon. She was explaining to Bill Maher why Trump's tariffs are in support of the working class Americans and why Americans love him so much. Even the Democrats, some of the Democrats that actually have a head, that they're not totally gone, will notice this and go, wait a second, we got to stop this. We got to figure out how the hell we're going to make this better. Well, she brings up some good points about the tariffs and who they represent and how this.
The reason people want to go back to the 70s is in the 70s, the largest share of our GDP was in the middle class. And that was not separate from the fact that 25% of our economy was in manufacturing. Our economy was an upward funnel of wealth, and the largest share, which used to be in manufacturing, which gave a lot of working class people a middle class standard of living, now the largest share is in real estate and finance. That manufacturing is still being done. It's just being done in other countries. It is still
for wages we will not work for.
That's exactly right. You're right, Bill. That's what the tariffs are for. They are to make American workers more competitive in the global market. Why are we accepting that there should be a race to the bottom? China, what is its competitive advantage over us? It's that it pays slave wages. Why should we accept that? They're still manufacturing our PPE, our pharmaceuticals, our cars. They're making all that stuff. Trump says there are 5 industries that we cannot have any kind of national security without having a stake in them. Pharmaceuticals, lumber, steel, aluminum, and I forget what the 5th one was. But these are really important, that we have a stake in the manufacturing of the things that we need as a nation, so that when China decides that it wants to go to war against us, we're not relying on them for steel and aluminum in order to fight them.
Okay, well, at least that's an answer.
That's a Democrat. Let me repeat, that is a leftist Democrat explaining why Trump's tariffs are so damn popular with Americans. And just wait and you see. Just wait and you see what happens when it comes to the success that follows those tariffs. They're pretty simple. A lot of economics is pretty simple when you really break it down and think about it. A connects to B, B to C, C to D, and so forth. These tariffs are already forcing Americans to keep business here, bringing companies back here. So we're not having to go across seas. We're not having to pay and subsidize other countries anymore. It's all part of the Doge. It's part of making our lean, mean, fighting machine government, like it once was, back in place. Maher was speechless. Yeah, great point. He was. And he's not an unintelligent man. He's an intelligent man. His hate gets in the way of making decisions. His hate for Trump, his hate for conservatism, but he's also made some spot on points. And not just because I'm right or we're right, but when he breaks down his decision making, why the Democrats have lost their freaking minds. That's literally a liberal, elitist left woman making a whole lot of sense about the party, the left, that's left most of the country behind. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gave me chills listening to her speak, because where America is going. We have so much hope. We have so much possibility. My God, this future, we could do so many things, and Donald Trump is setting us on course to do that right now. And, we'll see where it goes. Other news and headlines of things that have come out over the weekend. This wasn't the only thing. I'm glad that we're still trying to protect, and I know that we're not going to get involved in any wars. But the Houthis, are really causing problems in Yemen. And they're trying to keep America out of the Red Sea. So the United States conducted large-scale airstrikes on a dozen Houthi targets in Yemen, aiming to reopen the international shipping lanes of the Red Sea. These could happen for days. We're not going to sit back and take the bullshit anymore like we used to. Trump says, I'm here. I'm going to make sure I can find what I can possibly find out what's happening in international sea waters, but we're not going to be subjected to these things anymore. Oh, Glenn, thanks. The fifth factor she forgot to say was energy oil that Donald Trump talks about. That's the fifth factor. Those things are happening. So that happened over the weekend. Also good news, once again, because we talk about people, these Democrats and liberals hating Elon so much. They don't like to see Elon help anybody. They don't like to see Elon take things the way that they should. Well, you know what Elon did? The NASA astronauts being rescued. Being rescued now. That's right. Being rescued by Elon and SpaceX. He is the guy who has brought back the astronauts. Elon Musk did it one more time. All this man does so far is bring positivity to the United States of America, including his son X, who on Friday was seen with Donald Trump. Donald Trump taking him to the chopper. It was awesome. Cute video. Pam says, blow them to smithereens. You'll have these little guys, and I say little in every sense of the word, try to act like they're macho and rise up every now and then. And Donald, you just have to smite them away like whack-a-mole. So thanks to Elon and SpaceX for getting our astronauts back home. Joe Biden, his administration couldn't do anything because they're embarrassing. And they've pretty much been embarrassing from the get-go. We're just taking care of. We're cleaning up stuff. That's what this country is about right now. Cleaning up, taking care of all the problems, taking care of all the issues that we had before. From the chat line, so basically, most Democrats don't want anything good to happen to the U.S. No, hell no, they don't. They would rather us go through hell, famine, war, bankruptcies, as long as Donald Trump is in charge. The Democrats that I know would rather not be a multimillionaire under Donald Trump. They would rather be in their current situation or poor than give Donald Trump credit. Just like he said before, his speech, there's nothing he could say or do that would make Democrats stand and clap for him. Nothing. Kimberly says, if Elon was still on the left, they would praise him to the highest heavens for all he's doing. Of course they would. Oh, didn't we go to the moon? How come no pics? Aren't they here yet? Yeah, we know what the Democrats are doing. Those are the things. I did have to, I don't know, just kind of sickening. Trump has a call with Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. That's a good thing. They're going to talk peace. Putin is now saying that he has to have it 100% this way or no peace treaty could be signed. Over the weekend, we had Vladimir Zelensky agree to peace again, then go back on it. No surprise there. That's what he does. That's who he is. That's who he's always going to be. Greg says, remember that Elon Musk was praised by every Democrat not that many years ago. He was their green energy poster boy, but then he started to see things that were happening to Donald Trump, so he jumped in. When it comes to the Zelensky, this isn't current video, but isn't this just bizarro? This is just some sick video here. Is this weird between France's President Macron and Zelensky and how they embrace each other? Just watch this.
said, President, I said that I think it's too much for me, and that's why we address it.
That's gross. They're holding each other like they're lovers. From the chat line, Kimberly says, ew, what the hell? Get a room coming in from the chat line. That guy's wife is a man. I know. Did you hear that Candace Owens was allegedly offered like millions of dollars to never talk about the story of Macron's wife again? Just curious if you guys had heard that, because she did so much deep dive reporting regarding him being a man. It's sickening. The things that have happened at the highest levels of government, just sickening. Sickening. Married to a man that's, just be honest. If you're going to go do your freaky deaky things, whatever, just be honest, especially if you're an elected official. They have Zelensky on camera saying, where is the $100 billion Joe promised him? Don't doubt about that. The left started turning on Elon when he built Twitter. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. Those are all parts of it. All parts of it. Other news that are headline. Conor McGregor, some people like him, some people hate him. I don't know, whatever. He says he's going to get into politics now. He's at the White House today. He laid out the dire situation in his home country of Ireland. He's very passionate and set to meet with Trump. McGregor says the Irish government is not focused on Irish people, and illegal immigration is running rampant. And illegal immigration there is causing many problems. He says that he came to the United States to talk to Trump about the issues that the people of Ireland face because of all the illegal immigration. We ran the stories before where Muhammad was the most popular name in a very popular part of Ireland. Ireland, if you didn't know, is a very, very, very liberal, left, soft country. They're soft in Ireland, very soft from a political standpoint. They have sat back and allowed themselves to get run over. And while you may not like Conor McGregor for his talk and how he handled his fights and situations like that, he just hates what's going on there. He says what is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. This all on St. Patrick's Day. Conor McGregor meeting with Donald Trump on St. Patrick's Day to talk about the travesties that are happening into Ireland. Very interesting to me. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravaged on our country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. The 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. Damn, that gives me chills. Hearing Conor McGregor talk about Ireland on St. Patrick's Day to President Trump. We'll have more on that coming up tomorrow from that standpoint as well. So, guys, we're just grateful that you support us and support the show. We always take any sort of donations to help keep us going. We're grateful for Century. That's hydration20.com. Hydration20.com, the best water system in the world, bar none, for what it takes out and what it puts in. It takes out every chemical, every possible mineral you can imagine. It cleans it, makes it dead water. That's a liquid. That's what all these purifiers do. But what hydration20.com does is that it adds oxygen, magnesium, and calcium. That's the best system in the world. Hydration20.com. Hydration20.com. Thank you so much for buying that. Check it out. There's a reason why not one has been turned back in 3 years. We are appreciative of Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Wenty's, that's 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Work hard, play hard. Just enjoy it. The food is so good. I mean, it's some of the best bar food. Good time. You get in, you get your food, you get out. And a big supporter of our show. We're grateful for them. When it comes to sandwiches too, check out Capriati's. Capriati's, it's in Rock Hill. Wagyu beef, fresh roasted turkey every day. The the literally the Philly cheesesteak is something. I mean, you put it in your mouth and you're like, oh my God, I got to eat this all the time. The fries are to die for as well. Also, their platters and their catering is second to none. Capriati's and Rock Hill open 9 to 9. Tell Jonathan you appreciate them advertising. When you are out doing grilling, you want to do it with natural charcoal, and that is Rockwood. It's made in the state of Missouri, where the best charcoal in the world is made. You don't want fillers, burning, and those unnatural processes happening on your food. Eat your food with Rockwood charcoal. Also, real estate, it's time to get serious. If you're thinking, maybe even dreaming about real estate changes, you got to give Megan Livingstone a call. Phone number is 314-249-1708, 314-249-1708, megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. Put your plan in place. So many other people trying to do that right now. At least make a phone call. It doesn't hurt to make a phone call or to give an email. Guys, we appreciate you joining us today for canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Appreciate Joe's help from behind the scenes as well. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. That does it for our fastest hour of news podcasting. Stop talking about food, Vic. Haven't had solid food in 4 days. Oh, he had a molar pulled. I'm so sorry to hear that. Also, shout out St. Patrick's Day Parade today, 4 p.m. Main Street, St. Charles. I'm in it representing my mom's place, La Tia and Ponchos. All right, there you go. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and thanks for joining us for canceltheshow.com. We'll check you next time.